All right, continuing on with class 21. I think this is video 2. And now we're going to example 11.3, and we want to modify this to be a full rotation. All right, so here is the original MATLAB right here. Yellow indicates things that are going to change. So this was given at 60 degrees. But we're going to want to do it for both for a bunch of different degrees in different speeds. So I should actually have put omega 2 as also changing. We'll do it. We'll see when that happens. So you can see that we're starting with the position analysis down here at the bottom after getting all of the values. So we read in the values, and I have moved the theta 2, but also probably the omega and the alpha to another location. We do need to have the initial starting point, so that'll probably be right in there. And there he is. So I moved that stuff down here so I could make a string of time. Here I chose to go from 0 to 1.63 seconds by increments of 1/200ths. So here's the alpha 2, which is the acceleration. There's omega 0 to. I decided to go backwards and figure out the kinematics to figure out what speed I wanted to start at, so that when I get at the angle that I need, I will have the speed I need and that acceleration, because it's a negative acceleration. So here's the theta ought to, right? So here's the starting angle, which isn't too much different from just 0 because it's just 1.69 degrees. So here's my populating a theta 2 with a bunch of zeros, and my omega 2 with a bunch of zeros, and my torque with a bunch of zeros, so that I can collect them as I make them. So here I made a little loop, and I populated theta 2 and omega 2 based on just simple kinematics. And then I could have done this up earlier, I think, with the other zeros, but I made it one longer than it needed to be for the theta 2s. That was part of my strategy at one point, I guess. And okay, so this is going to get my initial analysis. Okay, so what I do here is I do a whole separate loop to find the initial position, so I don't have to make a guess. I get. Let's see. I didn't put in what my guess was initially, but I think I do somewhere in there. So you want to be careful. Let's see. Here's the position vectors. Here's getting omega and getting acceleration. Right. So these are using Norton's equations, not doing a numerical differentiation of the things, which you could have done, but you just have to do several loops, external loops, to be able to get it populated with a acceleration for each of the and velocity for each of the spots that you need. And then take the accelerations and then turn them into accelerations at the center of gravity. All right, so that's what we're doing on the left. On the right, we're continuing on with that initial position. All right, so hopefully we were able to get initial guesses that are going to be good, because now we're going to do it for every time step, right? So we started time step 2 and go to the length of that exists of, I guess I made it theta here, but that's okay because I made it time plus 1. So we go longer because we're going to cut some off. I think that was my mindset when making that. But I'm really just trying to get them to match up with dimensions at the end. It's kind of a little cat and mouse game I play. Always trying to get the correct index and the correct number of indices to use. So anyway, here is the Newton-Raphson for each of these positions. And while we're at it, also find the position vector when we're at the current time step. So here's the position at the current time step. Over on the left-hand side, that's the main guy to find the forces in the 4-bar. And I believe there are 9, or is there 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 equations. There are 9 unknowns, and we're solving for them. And here we're pulling them out and just printing them out. All right, so here's the acceleration, the velocity analysis at each time step, because this is inside the loop. Here's the acceleration analysis each time that we're going through the loop. Here's the accelerations. Don't need the acceleration of B, but I did it anyway. And then here's the acceleration of the center of gravity, which we definitely need at link 2, at link 3, and link 4. Right, so we have those all important acceleration of gravity, and then we're still in the loop, but we can use that information inside the loop right here by keeping it in the C matrix and all those position matrix, and we can solve for B. And as we're doing that, we can also populate. So in this case right here, I have made strings for all of the force components, but here's the most important. Oh no, I didn't. You can see it's commented out. Sorry. But I've left it there so you can go ahead and put it in if that's one of the things that you wanted to do as part of this analysis. I'll do that later on. You'll see that I was able to get the forces, these reaction pin forces, to match up in another problem. So anyway, we get this torque. We can plot it out, and boom, there's the torque. And if we compare to, there's your SolidWorks, and boom, there's your MATLAB, and there's your point for the original problem, which was like example 11.3, I think, but that was the values of 11.3. You can see that my MATLAB is exceeding the peaks of all of my SolidWorks. I'm not coming up with an explanation for it. You could also see I'm a little off of phase in this. But this deserves more analysis, more thought as to why they're different. I haven't jumped into this in a while, so I'm not quite sure what was different along the way. But we'll take a look at some more problems and see how close they were. Here's a quick one where I wanted, previously I did a single location for problem 11.1a, which is just a pretty straightforward crank slider. In this case, it's inline. It's not an offset one. And here were my torque versus MATLAB. You can see with this simple problem, I got it a lot closer. I mean, it's just dead nuts on. I promise I didn't cheat. Let's see, how are we doing on time? 8 minutes seems like a sort of a short one. Let me keep going. Okay, so here's example of 4.1, but with coupler extension. Now, I think this deserves its own video, so I'll start a new one. No problem.